Hi, I want to talk about 2 questions you must ask before attending or accepting a meeting invitation. And these 2 questions will absolutely revolutionize how you attend meetings in the future. Hi, I'm David McMeekin, and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If you work in a field, any area in which email is involved, usually with email comes invitations to meetings. And pre-COVID, I used to have to attend a lot of meetings. COVID hit, we started to work from home, and I thought, brilliant, we will have a lot less meetings. I'm not sure if you've ever wondered that, but I sometimes thought, do these people have KPIs, that is the number of meetings that you can book and attend? Because it's not one of my KPIs, and I sometimes find that going to a meeting actually can take away from my work. What I want to share with you today are 2 questions that I've learned, and these 2 questions have absolutely changed my attendance or non-attendance at meetings. One of the things I dislike in meeting invitations is just it's a time and a location, and that's it. Nothing else. What's the meeting about? The title doesn't tell me anything. What is the meeting about? So when I get one of those invitations, what I do now when I get a meeting invitation is I look at it. And the first question I ask is, what's the agenda? And I look into the meeting invitation and I discover there's no agenda. So with no agenda, I don't know what this meeting is about. And therefore, I can't actually answer yes or no because I don't know what the meeting is about. So what I do now is I go back to the organizer and I say, do you have an agenda for the meeting? Depending on what they say, depends on whether or not I move even to the next question. Because that, do you have an agenda, when they say no, then I'm going, well, if you don't know what the meeting's about, I certainly don't know why I should attend, and I will decline that meeting. And just recently, someone actually quite high up, further up the chain at my workplace, sent out an invitation to a meeting, and there were about 45 of us invited to it. And a few days later, I got an email saying, you haven't responded. And that was correct. I hadn't responded to the meeting invitation because there was no agenda. What did I do? I wrote back. I was a little bit nervous about it because of where that person sits in the hierarchy, but I said, and we'll go with Steve. I said, Steve, I haven't accepted the meeting because there's no agenda. I didn't hear anything from Steve, but a couple of hours later, an email went out from his PA saying there will be a meeting agenda on this day ready for the workshop. I was pretty happy about that. My one email had, I take credit for it, maybe I'm over-exaggerating myself, but that one email had now given 43, 45 people an understanding of what the meeting was going to be about. So, did I say yes? In that case, I did say yes. The second question. What's the second question? Maybe some of you are asking, maybe not. The second question I have is, what's my role in the meeting? Why am I going to this meeting? That's what I want to know. And if it's not evident, it's not clear. Sometimes it's clear because I see the agenda and I know who's there and I can see what it's about and I go, well, that's my role. I need to be in it. But sometimes I don't know what's my role in this meeting. And I do that same thing. I email the person back and I say, and we'll go with Steve. I say, Steve, great, there's an agenda. What's my role in this meeting? What do you see my purpose? And again, once that has been answered, once that question is answered and I think I can fulfill that role, I can now actually attend that meeting quite easily. And what I've noticed is when I now ask those 2 questions, what's on the agenda or what's the agenda and what's my role in the meeting, a whole new avenue of things open up. And I feel quite free to go, thanks for the invitation, but I don't think there's any need for me to attend. And I've probably cut my attendance at meetings, I don't even want to guess, but I will, maybe 25%, a quarter of the meetings I now no longer attend. And you know what? My productivity, I won't say hasn't gone down, it's probably gone up, and I'm a much more, I'll say, relaxed person because I'm not going to a meeting wondering what on earth is going on. Now, I flip these questions over because what I noticed is when I'm asking that question, if I'm inviting people to a meeting, have I got an agenda? If I haven't got an agenda for people to attend the meeting that I'm the organizer of, I either don't organize the meeting or I create the agenda. Or one more, or I go, here's the invitation and an agenda will be out at this point in time so people know what it's about. I've even gone to the point when I invite people and I have an agenda and all that set up front, I tell them what their role is at the meeting. What's my expectation of them at the meeting? How do I see them participating? So when they're preparing with the agenda to come to the meeting, they're able to prepare and know what's going to be expected of them. They can then do and participate with that role, that understanding. And what I've discovered, which is revolutionary, is my meetings are a lot shorter, okay? Because we now have a defined agenda and everyone knows their role. So not only has it reduced the number of meetings that I attend by asking these two questions, it's actually shortened the time of the meetings I run because we have an agenda and we have a role defined for each person. So the two questions to ask to revolutionize your meetings, attendance or running them. What's the agenda and what's my role in this meeting? I'm David McMeekin, Kendini Buck.